Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping that I've got this setup working now. I've got a new little light which is much smaller and is directly above where I'm stitching rather than having to be kind of behind me, and it has an attached camera stand. So my stand is literally next to where I'm stitching. So I'm hoping you're going to be able to see what I'm doing without me getting in my own way. And also I can watch the screen. So I'm hoping I'm just going to get better at filming. I'm not a bad stitcher. I'm a bit of a slow stitcher, but I'm not a bad stitcher. So since the last time you were here, I have done quite a lot actually. So let me talk you through it. I have filled in all this grey up here. All the grey on the bus is now completely done. And let me move my camera. All this has gone up from about here, gone all the way up. So this is actually where the dark grey stops in the pattern. And from here to, I don't know, about here maybe, is white and light grey, which is going to be so much fun to stitch on white. But today, we're just going to do this little bit here and fill in the same corresponding colours over here. Now I don't know if you can actually see this because it's kind of small, but right here I've only done a half stitch. Let me see if I can zoom in without messing up completely. See the half stitch? Now I've actually done that sort of on purpose because I realised that that's the wrong colour. So I'll do the completing stitch in the correct colour, and because it's all that type of grey, it should blend in quite nicely. Right, hang on. I just paused to zoom back out again because I don't know whether or not it's going to mess up. So I will, like I did last time, pause to change the colour or to tie off in the back so that you don't have giant bits of blank screen and my table. That's the other thing I've got a bigger table. I have a wooden one, now I've got a kind of a big grey plastic table, which is fab because it's twice the width. Means I can fit everything on here. There we go. Okay, we've just changed position. So we've come down to here now. The reason I've started pausing it when I do that is A, because you don't really want to see a bare table while I'm threading, but also because I take my time doing it. So unless you want to see me actually zoom in and watch me tie off, then it's probably a bit dull for you. I am thinking that rather than do the white on white straight away, I might do the dark grey on the other side of the bus and get it to the same place. And that way it just gives me that little bit of extra time before I stitch white and white. Can you tell I don't really like stitching white on white? Although I've got to say, all these different colours of grey, they're also killing me. I mean, it looks great when it's finished, but my goodness, it is a bit of a nightmare. But I can't wait to see it finished. It's not as bad as back stitching, although my husband doesn't actually think back stitching does anything good for the picture. I disagree. I think maybe close up it might look a bit, I don't know, clunky, I suppose. But if you're looking at it from a distance, you know, it looks fantastic. It makes a picture for me anyway. Okay, I've just done these couple of little stitches here because every time I only had to do 2 stitches by the time I did it, tied off and tied back, it just makes more sense to pause. So, don't think I need much more of this particular colour. So I'm just colouring it off from my pattern. So, I don't know where in the world you guys are. I'm in the UK. You can probably guess that from the way I speak. But we've had quite a lot going on in the UK recently. The Queen passed away, which is quite sad. You know, whether you are a monarchist or you're not, she was an institution, I suppose, because she's been, you know, the Queen for the last 70 years. Okay. But it was something I suppose on some level I knew I'd be seeing in my lifetime, you know, the ladies in the 90s. But it's one of those things that you understand on a kind of a deeper level that you're going to see it, but actually seeing it is completely different. I think if I hadn't been working, I probably would have been one of those people who went and queued for 12, 13 hours to walk past her coffin. And wasn't that one of the most glorious things ever? I don't think I've ever seen anything more British in my life. If you're wondering why I'm not stitching, I'm getting my next bit of thread. But I thought I'd chat while I was doing it, because at least you're looking at the picture, not at, you know, the box of sweets that's behind it. I'm also recording this with headphones and a microphone because my son is playing a game in the next room. And does anyone else? Of course, other people who've got kids. I don't know if any of you particularly have kids, but my goodness, they can get loud when they play games, can't they? I was never that loud playing games. Don't get me wrong, I played plenty of games. It's never like that. But then again, my first gaming system was a Mega Drive. So okay, I'm going to do a completely different colour now. So I only had a little bit left of that colour, so instead of saving it, which I will, if I can get more than say 10 stitches out of a piece of material, I'll keep it. If I can't, it just goes in my waste box, which I've started keeping since I've started stitching in the last couple of months. So let's move the camera slightly. This is it. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a physical record of the colours and everything. I think it looks quite pretty. I'm hoping that I'm just going to fill up. Right, I've got to adjust this camera now because I've moved it and it's gone all funky. Hang on, I shall pause, fix, and tie in ready. Okay, there we are, we're back. So what have you guys been up to recently? I'm on annual leave this week, so I get to kind of chill out a bit, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I've got, you know, I don't have an unstressful job. I'm a nurse, so my job can be stressful, but I love it. Really, really enjoy my job, which is very lucky. I've always said that if you can love your job, you'll never really work a day in your life because you'll enjoy it when you go in. And I do enjoy it. And I think that's really important. But I'm enjoying having a week off. Okay, now I don't know if you remember from before, I'm going to start at the top and go down this time. So it looks the same as the other stitches because the directions always go bottom left, top right, and then bottom right, top left. All my stitches do that. But sometimes if I'm going to be going in the opposite direction, I need the, I've got a knot, hang on. There we go. I need the thread to be on this side rather than this side, just to give me less wastage. So I'm going to do that a couple of times over here because I'm going across. Just out of shot, like below the camera, I've got the pattern. It's taking a little bit of getting used to this new camera setup because I'm kind of stitching with my hand on one side of it. Right, I'm going to pause, not pause, but I'm going to stop while I just colour off what I've done because I've done a few stitches now. And because I'm jumping all over the place, if I don't colour them off, I will get confused. It's not like I'm doing red next to green, so I know exactly where I am. Okay, again, I'm going to go top to bottom this time because I'm going to be going back into this hole. And if I've gone from bottom to top, it'll just unpick. This way it won't. And you can't tell the difference because it's still doing the correct motions. I really like this picture. The red of the bus being the only colour you see is very effective. And the more I'm finishing of it, the better it's looking. And it's a gift for my husband, and I think he's quite enjoying watching it develop as well. Okay. Oh, that's too far to go. Okay, so my next stitches are going to be up here. So I'm going to have to tie off because that's too far for me to travel. So, 1 second. Okay. So, a lot of people have different things to say about traveling when you're stitching. Personally, I will travel if it's not too far, so like 3 or 4 stitches at a push. But as a general rule, I don't like it. Just because it makes the back untidy, and although it's not particularly important to anybody other than myself, I like the back to be tidy on my work. And it honestly has absolutely no bearing on how good the picture looks in the front. And I would never shame anybody for their preferred way of doing it. Some people don't care, and I don't see a problem with that at all. It's just a personal preference. I personally like it to be quite neat, and mine at the moment is quite untidy because there's so many changes of colours. This is quite untidy for me. I will show you. Hang on. Okay, so this is the back. Now, see that this here, there's nothing wrong with it, but it bothers me because it's just looking, but it's where I've had to do like one stitch of one colour, one stitch of another colour, and it just kind of builds up. But down here is all regular and neat. Again, messy on the grey because you've got no choice. But yeah, not too bad. You can tell what it is from the back, more or less. So, okay, I've had to take it out of its stand, so I'm going to put it back in. So yes, that's the back. As I said, everybody has their own way of doing things. But as long as it sits flat when you're finished, it doesn't really matter. It's like if you make little mistakes, it doesn't matter, it gives it character. I've made loads of mistakes in this piece alone, but I'm not going to let it worry me because it still looks good, and nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to be able to tell when it's finished. I can't tell the difference between these colours and they're sitting in front of me. I don't know how anybody will be able to do it from afar. This doesn't have a great deal of back stitching, only on the bus and on Big Ben. But I think we've done quite good so far today. Conscious of it not being too long of a video because I don't want it to get dull. So maybe we'll finish up soon. Okay. So next time I tie off, I think I'm going to stop. Which won't be long. I've only got a couple of stitches of this colour around here. So let's mark off what I've done. Actually, that is it. Okay, so I'll come back up this way. I've got that one there is this colour, those three are this colour, and then the rest are all a different grey. Okay, so that definitely has got loads of play left in it, so I will be keeping that when I go across the other side. So that's about it. So apart from those 4 stitches, everything else that has the holes, all of this, is all this darker shade of grey, which looks like all the other shades of grey, personally, apart from these ones. Obviously these ones don't. But then up here is this one and white. That's not going to be fun. So yeah, definitely I'm going to be filling this in and filling in on top of the bust where there's gaps there, and then I'm gonna take it all out of the frame and move it down to do a different section so I can get this darker bit at the bottom done and then move on to the top part, because we've nearly finished a whole page. So I don't like showing the patterns on screen because of copyright. I don't want to get in trouble. Although this is 2012, I don't know how long copyrights last, but better safe than sorry. So yeah, I've got 2 pages of A3, which the bottom half is, so the whole page stops kind of here. So if I leave that, hang on, I need both hands. So if I can get all the way up to there on both sides, then I can just move on to the other half of the picture, which will be good. So when you come back, sorry, I just hit the mic. When you come back, I will have done all this and I will be ready to start stitching on the bottom. So you'll probably see it coming back and I'll show you what this looks like finished. And then I'll do my editing on the go by pausing and move on to the next bit. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Let's zoom out so you can see. Oh, that is definitely not zooming out. Hang on. Okay, that zooming out was very technical. Moving the camera back. So yeah, I think we've done really well. Look how good it's all starting to come together. If you're wondering what this is all folded over so it doesn't mark underneath. See, this is where it's all folded. Okay, thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye. One more thing. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe, because I'm still a new channel and I would like to grow. So if you don't mind subscribing, sharing, and come back again next time. Bye now.